Heaven and the Heathen took so long? This is why. I'm sitting here alone. I'm ready. And I'm here by myself. Tawanda, tell us what you think. Oh, wait a minute. She's not here yet. The thermostat is over my shoulder. You want to zoom it in some? So,
why do we have to zoom in?
because you have the thermostat behind me on the wall.
People know we gotta heat the house. Can you talk?
I was just talking.
Okay. Greg, I'm not gonna be talking. Hi everyone, this is Ty and Greg, and we're introducing Heaven and the Heathen.
Wouldn't it be more so, what's up, people?
I'm Ty.
And I'm Greg.
And we are...
Cut!
Come on!
Can you wait? I'm getting ready to tell you. See, this is why you need to have a production plan before you hit record. But anyway, we sit here and be like, I'm Ty, I'm Greg.
No, this is the real deal.
Hello.
Hi everyone. I'm Ty.
And I'm Greg. And this is the first introduction video to Heaven and the Heathen. And to give you a little insight of what Heaven and the Heathen is all about, it's a real world perspective from two very different views about life, from two very different individuals who came together as one, and which would be me and Ty, came together as one. And even though there are times that we may agree, there are times that we disagree, and there are also times that we have to agree to disagree. But throughout everything that we do, throughout every debate, every discussion, the one thing that remains the same is the love that we have for each other between us. And that's one of the reasons why this relationship has been the best relationship that I've had, and it has lasted over 19 years, and I hope to see another 119 more.
119 more. I'll be working on my second husband by then.
As long as he's paying half the bills, he can do whatever he wants.
So we wanted to talk a little bit about how we met, and it's going to be interesting to hear his side of the story versus my side of the story.
Before we do that, tell them how the concept of Heaven and the Heathen came up.
Well, the concept came from...
Let me see if we have the same memory of it.
The concept came from this. I grew up in church. Greg grew up on the street. And basically...
I wasn't homeless. I just didn't grow up in the... I grew up hood. I had a house. Let's put that out there.
And so then we started to understand that it was a lot of people around us that had the same disagreements in their marriage. And so we just think it's healthy discussion. And so this is how we came up with the concept of Heaven and the Heathen.
I remember it a little bit differently. I remember there were certain things that we would be discussing, and sometimes my explanation of things, like for instance, when you would have certain individuals that would be asking you for money, and I would be like, man, I work 2 jobs, go get one, and all that. So Ty would look at me and be like, heathen. Like, I didn't have that nurturing spirit, that nurturing consideration of others. I just felt like if you're standing in one spot waiting for me to come by you after working hard 60 to 80 hours a week, and then you just got your hand out, hold your other hand out. I'm going to give you a double fives and keep moving, because I'm not giving you my money. And she used to always be like, Ray, you just don't care. I care. I just don't care about what you're dealing with, because did you care about what I was dealing with mine? So she would always call me a heathen. But let me say this. I am a Christian. I do go to church regularly. Our pastor, Anthony Fliggins, the Court of Christ,
Anthony Fliggins.
Ooh. Great man of God. I always tell him we have $1 million ministry for free. So if you look at the definition of heathen, it says something along the lines of an individual who has no religious background. That's not the case, but I just don't see things from a church's perspective. I see things from a real world perspective. And certain topics that we may have, that's what we'll be bringing to you. And these are debates. Some of them are things that we've already debated on and we still have not came to an agreement, and we kind of get other people's input. And then there are other things that may come up, that may arise, that we like for you to give your input as well.
Are you done?
Right for now.
And so this is, everything that he said, all 30 minutes of it, this is how we came up with Heaven and the Heathen. And so we wanted to use this first video just to talk about how we met and how the relationship has been thus far. And so I'll kick off, and like I said before, it'll be interesting to hear his side versus my side. So I'm going to give the beginning because he's probably going to talk about how great and handsome he was and all of that other stuff.
Something changed?
No, you're still handsome.
Okay, let's make sure we get that out there.
Okay, so we met back in 2000 and no, my God, 1995. Oh God, time has passed. 1995. His sister was my stylist, and she used to do my hair. And so he came in one day with his corrections officer uniform on, and I've always been attracted to law enforcement, and so I'd never seen him before.
Mystery.
Little did I know is that one of the little girls that I would watch for my friend.
Unauthorized babysitter, by the way. I didn't know what she was watching my daughter. I sent my daughter over my sister's house.
You still angry about that?
Nah, I love Helen to death. You haven't watched Shay since. She's 24 now.
So I met him there. And that's where I'm going to stop. I'm going to let him pick up.
Basically, she was 17 when I met her. I was 21, I believe. 17 when I met her. Nice looking, but you know, I was already working in corrections. I didn't want to be a guest of any house of corrections, so that was, you know, a no-no. So time had passed. Got into some trouble in '97, and the one person who I actually told my sister not to call, she ended up calling. I didn't need the help, but I did call her to thank her for offering, and then offered to come see her. And at that time, that was 2 years later, so she was 19. And a few years later, came by, and she had grown up. When I first met her, she had like Kool-Aid, purple, red flavored finger waves in her hair, some 3/4 Reebok Classics, and some slouch socks. So it was like, you know, that straight Ozone Club, you know, hanging out, you know, hood living kind of thing. So I was like, But then when I met her a couple years later, she had on like the clear sandals with the toes all done up, and you could see the little scarf tied around her neck with the blouse. I was like, oh, okay. So then after that, believe it or not, I was going through some crazy stuff, and I didn't know it at the time, but I just needed someone that I could release to and just vent to, because I was always, you know, a strong-minded, strong-willed individual that I just, you know, I kept a lot of things in, and she was very easy to talk to. And then I found myself just wanting to be around her more and more. And here we are today, 2016, never missed a beat. You know, been here, you know, day in, day out, through the good, the bad, you know, the rough times and everything else. And, you know, here we are. Now, with all of that love between us, henceforth the Heaven and the Heathen, there are some things that we would have discussions about that we can go on and on for days if we allow it to. Like, prime example, this stuff here, Baltimore Ravens, I don't understand, but like I tell people all the time, everyone has a flaw, but I'm married anyway. I've been a diehard Steelers fan since the age of 5. I don't even want to talk.
They look good with
I
your
don't
black.
even want to talk about them.
They look so good with your black.
You know, I mean, you know what? On that note, let me give you a little bit about me for those that don't know me. I retired November 1st, 2015, after a 22-year career at the Baltimore County Corrections at the rank of sergeant. Love my BCDC family. I pray for y'all every day. I pray for correctional officers everywhere. I tell people all the time, the correctional officers of the world are the true gatekeepers of society. So all of them bad men you see on the news once they get caught, and not to take anything away from the police department, but the Department of Corrections anywhere, don't get the respect that it deserves. But I hold you guys to a high regard in my heart, and I love you for doing what you do. I'm a 1991 high school graduate from the great Carver High, CTID, Carver High till I die, 454. I love my Carver Bear family. If you ain't a Carver Bear, you won't understand it. Ain't nothing like being a Carver Bear. It's something that's embedded in our soul that we keep deep down within, but we let the whole world know. We have 4 beautiful children from a blended family, and we're going to get a little more into that a little later. Matter of fact, that might be a good first topic, how to deal with issues that arise from a blended family. And, that's what we're going to talk about in our first topic, how to deal with that. And just to give you a background on that topic, I have 3 biological children that they from 3 different relationships. I was young and wild. And then I have a 4th child who is my daughter's cousin. We had to deal with some things that came up, dealing with them and dealing with them from very little, with custody and child support and all of those things that come about, and just issues that arise from them being young, from being teenagers going into young adulthood, and you have to know how to deal with them as young adults, but yet still treating them as they're still your children, but treating them as young adults.
We will talk about the different topics, and they will come, like he said, the different things you deal with the children. We will talk about, because I know it's a lot of y'all out there that deal with it, but baby mama and baby daddy drama. We will talk about how it is to be the other person in the relationship, and how you have to believe in who you are in order to sustain yourself in a relationship. We wanted to bring you this first vlog just to let you know where we were going to go. We are fun-loving people. As he stated, we've been together for 19 years, and this is all love. It has not been all great times, but we have never, ever, I would say,
hit a rough patch where we couldn't come back from it.
Yeah. So, we love you all. We hope.
Let me say one thing. As a disclaimer, we're not marriage counselors, we're not psychologists, we're not psychiatrists. We're just 2 individuals that have an opinion about life, and we encourage you to share your opinion, and hopefully these opinions will be able to help someone else, but it is your option to listen to the advice given, listen to the stories, the comments given, and use them accordingly. You're not obligated to do anything. You're not obligated to listen to us or anyone else on this page. But if it can help you along the way, please feel free, because we have one life to live, and most of us been through enough in our whatever years that we have on this earth. It's just time to, get some answers and move on and just try to live day by day better than the day before.
And so with all of that being said, tune in, stay tuned. We're going to try to bring you a vlog every week. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends to follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. We love you all, and stay tuned.
Talk to you soon.